Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Brittany, and this is my June TBR video. I've been back from vacation for about a week or so, and I just need to be inspired. I need to sit down and plan kind of what I want to read this month and just figure it out, see what commitments I have. I don't think I have many, but nonetheless, like, I need to figure out what I'm reading so I can share it with you guys. I'm getting some groceries and stuff, and you know what? I just decided to swing into the library. So we're just gonna pop in, see if anything is inspiring, okay? I just need some inspiration. What's the vibe for June? What am I feeling? It has been intermittently really nice here, and now it's like cloudy, so it feels kind of like sad. But I don't know, I just need to like figure it out. So let's just take a little peek in here, see what we got, and I will see you at home at the iPad. Okay, psych. That lasted 2 seconds. For whatever reason, they open at noon today. It's 9:30. I woke up early, like I work some day shifts. So I got up early today so I could like stay and like wake up easier this week. So I've been up for a while. It's 9:30. I'm not gonna wait in town, so we are off to an excellent start so far. Let's go home. I'm gonna look at my physical shelves for inspiration. I have like books I still need to finish from friends. Like, it's not that I don't have options, I'm just not feeling inspired, and like I want to pick up the books I have. The struggle is real. It's a curse and a blessing to like have so many books available all the time, because I just don't know what to read. So let's reset, and I will see you at home. We're back home. We are in comfy sweats, and we are going to nail this down. Because June 1st is tomorrow. Let's go to my iPad and just see where we are at. We just need to catch up on life for a second. What I'm looking at now is just the Canva graphic I had made for May with my potential mood reads and like format breakdown. And I've already read a few of these. I'm just looking now to see if there's anything left over that I'm like, yeah, that still sounds good. And I think these two, Poor Dear and Brutes, Warm Hands of Ghost Vampires, Valor, and Antibot are potential contenders. And then for ebooks, honestly, none of them right now. I got like maybe 25 pages into the Sword of Kaigen, and I just like, I don't know, I was like picking it up and putting down books before vacation, and then trying to like get ready and leave. I ran out of time. Like I was doing too much. So I'm gonna just leave that one alone for now. Same thing with Empire of Silence by Christopher Rucchio. I should have just delayed my Libby hold. Like, I grabbed it because I was excited and then didn't read it, which was a bummer. I would like to get to that eventually. I've resubmitted my hold on that one. I guess Wall of Storms. I own Eye of the World, so that could be a contender. Cytonic, if I like make progress on those Skyward series, could be an option. Maybe if Assassin's Apprentice is still on Audible, like it was last month, for your, like, included in your membership, that might be an option too. So I kind of have this, like, laid out here for, again, physical, audiobooks, and ebooks. And then off to this side are just, like, random things I've had in, like, brainstorming sessions in the past, or things that still sound interesting. So we'll see if any of these are still appealing. For a local book club next week, we are reading Henrytown. That is on June 6th. I think I could probably read that in the next week, because I don't work as much. I work 3 more days, and then I like have a week off. So I think I could get to that one. For my friend's book club, we picked Daughter of No Worlds, Under the Bridge, and Wild as like options. I know Daughter of No Worlds and Henrytown would be Kindle reads. So we're just going to move those over. I'm going to delete these two for now because I'm just not going to get to them. I've got some other fantasy things that I would like to try. Whoa, why is there 2 of them? There we go. I read Serpents in the Wings Like Night, or whatever it is, by Carissa Broadbent last year? Or was that earlier this year? I can't remember now. I did read her vampire series. I have not read Daughter of No Worlds, so we'll check it out. I enjoyed the vampire series for the most part when I was reading it, but now like it's gone. Like it wasn't very memorable. It wasn't like an all-time favorite. Like it was fun when it was happening, but now I'm like, oh yeah, that one book. Under the Bridge, I think, is a thriller. I need to look that one up. And Wild. I'll see if I can find those as ebooks or maybe audiobooks for Wild. That could be a fun one. Nothing is really striking my fancy in this side space. So we're just kind of like not worry about these right now. For audiobooks, I mentioned I might just keep Eye of the World and Titanic. I will check Audible for Assassin's Apprentice. I do have an Audible credit for this month I need to use. I'm maybe leaning towards Wall of Storms by Ken Liu. That is the second book in the Dandelion Dynasty, just to keep that going. I am not going to pick up The Signature of All Things right now. I'll come back to that one. But I should be able to get to Thursday Murder Club book 4. I'm like a quarter of the way through book 3. And then for physical books, I've kind of got like a pile of shame. That's how I feel. Let's see. What do I have? These are all books that I have still borrowed from friends, and I'm really sorry. I really want to get to Warm Hands of Ghosts. Sorry, Jenna. I have Vampires of El Norte still, Brutes by Diz Tate, and Poor Dear. I got 40 pages into Brutes, so maybe I'll pick this one up next. I liked the beginning of it. It was very strange. At least within the first 40 pages, I'm totally convinced that the girls who are telling the story are the ones who killed the other girl, because they are interesting. But we'll see what happens. I didn't want to bring my friend's book on vacation either, so that's why I did not keep going on that one. But these are ones that I would really like to focus on. And then Valor, the Skyward series, I don't know, it's a work in progress. Other physical books that sound interesting. I got Annie Bot last month in May, and I still feel like, I don't know, this could be a fun vibe for June. It's about like a robot AI girlfriend. And then I did pick up Pearl by Josh Mallerman at Barnes & Noble. It's about a killer telekinetic pig. So, for something that's spooky and ridiculous, this sounds fascinating. I also, really want to get to this one, too. Everyone in my family has killed someone. It just sounds kind of just like a funny thriller / mystery. Just something lighthearted and fun to read if it's sunny out. And then these 3... or maybe catching my eye. Next Year in Havana, The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi, and Outlaw. They just feel like, I don't know, like a cowboy book, a pirate. I know she's not really a pirate, but pirate ship adventure, and then a love story in Cuba. These just feel very summery to me, and adventurous and fun. So that could be an option. And then if I'm feeling a different type of fantasy, I would really like to check out Talon Sister by Jen Williams. She wrote the Ninth Reign trilogy, which I really enjoyed. If you're looking for a new fantasy series, I would highly recommend checking this one out. There's so many wonderful characters that I loved. The story and what happens is really unique, but it also takes some maybe familiar characterizations and tropes that we've seen before, but does them differently. And then the bad guy in this book is really unique. I don't feel like I've read a bad guy like this before. So I loved this. I read it a couple years ago, and this is a new book 1 in a duology that came out, I think, last year. So this involves griffins. Yeah, there's griffins in it. That's all I kind of need to know. So that could be an option. So I'm just going to sit on some of these. Let's look at Libby for just a second. Oh, How to Sell a Haunted House might be available this month. That would be a fun listen. Let's add that to the list. I will come back after I look at Kindle some more and Audible and let you know what my final selection is for June. I'm back. Hopefully you cannot see all this dog hair that's on me. Did some really important snuggling of the dogs, and I think I have a decent game plan. I did not pick as many things as I did last month. I like my lineup, but I guess I'm just not as book crazy right now. There is still a fair amount of things catching my attention, but it's not bad because last month was really bad. I wanted to read everything all at once, and it was insane. I think I got it though. So we're just going to talk about a few things. We'll just start off with my physical books. These ones I talked about. Next Year in Havana, Talon Sister, Outlawed, and The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. I'm going to put these aside I did not officially put these on my TBR for June. We'll just kind of see. I'm giving myself extra space for mood reading because I don't know. I just want to like have extra space for that. They didn't officially make the cut, so they'll go back on the shelves, but I still think they are some valid options if I'm looking for like a romance, some fantasy adventure books with these two, and like a cowboy book. We'll just see how the month goes. I'm going to set those aside. Officially on the physical lineup though, you've seen these books before, and I am so sorry. But I have Poor Dear by Claire Otechki. This is about a girl is murdered, and our main character is really just coming to terms with what happens, and we get a weird deer. So I'm trying not to know much about this one because I've heard it's kind of a weird book, so I just want to go in blind, but I'm excited to get to this. If I sit down and focus, like, I should be able to finish that in a day. Like, I just gotta focus. That's the key. This is on there, so I can give it back to my friend. I will probably pick up Brutes next. I'm almost done with Chinging All-Stars. I will probably pick this up next just because I've started it, and I don't think I really read that much to like need to reread it. I might skim a few pages. This is about a girl who is murdered, and we get, I think, like some of the inner workings of other girls in the town. I'm sure that they did it. But to be continued. I'll let you know. The Warm Hands of Ghosts is another book I've borrowed, and it is a kind of like historical fiction fantasy about a woman who, I think she goes to war to find her brother. Here, let me just read it. During the Great War, a combat nurse searches for her brother, believed dead in the trenches despite eerie signs that suggest otherwise. In this hauntingly beautiful historical novel with a speculative twist from the best-selling author of The Bear and the Nightingale. Okay, they summed that up way better than me. So I'd like to get to that. I enjoyed when I read The Women reading about nurses, so I'd like to see how a different author addresses combat nursing. I think that'd be neat. And then Vampires of El Norte. This is by the same author who wrote The Hacienda, which I really like. Vampires and vaqueros face off in this Texas-Mexico border in the supernatural western from the author of The Hacienda. I really liked The Hacienda. I'm excited to see what else she does with a kind of historical, supernatural storyline. And I'm hoping for like a slight romance again, because that was a very nice surprise. And I liked how she did that. So those are repeats. Oh, and the last repeat, I swear to God, I need to finish this series. Valor by John Gwynne, Faithful and the Fallen. I'll get to it eventually. I'm just trucking along. Some new additions for physical book options. I mentioned Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. I think this is going to be kind of a fun, cheeky, silly murder mystery. I've flipped through a little bit of it, and it seems very funny. So I'm excited. I'd like to get to this. And then I also added Pearl, which is a new purchase by Josh Mallerman. This is about a telekinetic killer pig. Just, that's so silly. And also, I didn't realize this, but he's the author of Bird Box, which is the movie as well, which is kind of cool. So I've not read Bird Box, but I do think it's fascinating to check out other works by authors, especially if they've had their stuff adapted. I think it's cool. I'm keeping Annie Bot on my list. This just sounds so fascinating. Annie Bot was created to be the perfect girlfriend for her human owner, Doug. Designed to satisfy his emotional and physical needs, she is dinner ready every night, wears the cute outfits he orders for her, and adjusts her libido to suit his moods. True, she's not great at keeping his place spotless, but she's trying to please him, and she's trying hard. She's also learning. I think, like, the more human she becomes, I think that's going to be a problem for Doug. And with, like, AI and, I mean, I see random videos of, like, the crazy smart robots who, like, do stuff. I think this is eerie and crazy, so I'm excited for this physical stack. We will see how things shape up in July. We'll see what I get through. For ebooks, I only picked a couple. The first one I have is Under the Bridge. This is by Rebecca Godfrey, and this is the true story of the murder of Renea Virk. And it's also a show on Hulu. I don't watch a ton of TV. I'm definitely out of the like TV culture right now, but I've heard it's a really good show. This is on Kindle Unlimited, and it was the one of the picks for my girlfriend's book club. So we always try to pick a couple just to give, like, there's quite a few of us in it, but just to give a variety and options. And like, if you don't feel like reading a thriller, then there's another option for you. And then we also try to just look for books on like free places. A lot of us have Kindle Unlimited memberships anyways, and so we try to look for KU books. That is on there. The other one we picked was The Daughter of No Worlds by Chris Broadbent. We're also going to try like starting the first book in a series and seeing if we want to read like the second book the next month and the third book and so on and so forth. This is a trilogy. They are all on Kindle Unlimited. It's about a former slave fighting for justice, a reclusive warrior who no longer believes it exists, a dark magic that will entangle their fates. And I enjoyed her other series. Let me get the wording right. The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I did the second book, Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, 6 Scorched Roses. So I did those 3. I read at least 3 of her other books, and like I said, I enjoyed it when they were happening. I don't really remember them now, but I am curious to see what her other works look like. This one is exciting though too, because when I was looking on Audible Plus, I just went to the like Discover page and I checked their premium catalog, because you get your 1 credit or however much you pay for your Audible subscription. You get also access to additional books. So I was looking through there, and they also have this one available as an audiobook as well. So I might read and or listen to Daughter of No Worlds. So that was a nice little fun treat to be like, oh, okay. Because sometimes, depending on how the month goes, I either have more or less time to like sit down, or I'm up and doing things, so I like to listen to things. So just having like an option is really nice. And they're both free to an extent. Like, I have those memberships anyways, and I use them, so to like know it's in a couple places is cool. The other one I have, hopefully I could read it in the next week or so. Could be too optimistic just with life, but it is Henrytown. This is by Marty Oakley Meadwar. This is, let me find it. I don't know what it's about. I just go to this one. I'm just along for the ride. I believe this book was written by one of the women's grandmothers who's in book club, I think. I will correct that when I get the real answer. Henrytown, Louisiana. It's barely on the map. It wasn't until 1962 that it was even considered a viable speed trap. And yet, in 1934, Georgia aristocrat Aaron Brooks graduated from Atlanta Seminary. The son of a wealthy family, surely Aaron wouldn't actually accept the pastorate of some backwater Louisiana town, especially in the height of the Great Depression, and yet Aaron boarded the train. The people of Henrytown were struck by his startling good looks and gracious manner. The consensus was that he was too pretty and too helpless to survive in a hardscrabble town. But when they heard him preach, they stopped praying for a new pastor. Henrytown and its people, in all their varied and wondrous forms, gradually became Aaron's family. His life was rich and content, but it radically changed in 1941 when America was thrust into World War II. American servicemen and women needed chaplains. Aaron boarded a train, but this time he was leaving his adored wife and children and the many treasured souls of Henrytown, Louisiana. I don't know, I'm just excited to check it out. Get back into some historical fiction if I can get to it. Fingers crossed. The other book my friend group picked was Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I feel like most people probably know what this one is. Or if you don't know the book, you know the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon, which I have not yet seen. So I think it'd be cool to have a little book movie moment. I do enjoy that. But this is Wild, from lost to found on the Pacific Crest Trail. At 22, Cheryl thought she had lost everything. In the wake of her mother's death, her family scattered and her own marriage was soon destroyed. 4 years later, with nothing more to lose, she made the most impulsive decision of her life. With no experience or training, driven only by blind will, she would hike more than 1,000 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail from the Mojave Desert through California and Oregon to Washington State, and she would do it alone. Told with suspense and style, sparkling with warmth and humor, Wild powerfully captures the terrors and pleasures of one young woman forging ahead against all odds on a journey that maddened, strengthened, and ultimately healed her. I'm hoping for like really beautiful like wildlife description, especially like with the like Oregon, Washington places that she's in, because some of that is very similar to Alaska, and she'll be outside, we're outside, like it's summer, so I'm hoping that's a nice match for June. For audiobooks, I am keeping The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan and Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. I own Eye of the World, so that's just kind of like an easy one to like have on my list if I want to pick something up, if I want to like start that journey of a 14 book series. And then Cytonic, I'm working through that series very slowly, but it's happening. I put Empire of Silence back on here because the first 4 books and a few of the novellas are all included in your Audible premium membership. Like, I just happened to be scrolling through and I was like, I saw the title, but it had a very different cover. I'll try to find the other cover I saw. And I was like, what? That can't be the same book. And it totally is. Like, it's the same book. There's like all of them on there. So like, I get a second chance to like get this series done because I've heard it's fantastic. I know a lot of Red Rising fans like it. If you like sci-fi, I've heard it's amazing. I read a few pages. Like I think I probably read like, I can't remember what I said earlier, but at least like 15 pages. But I liked at least the first little impression I had. This is about Hadrian Marlowe, a man revered as a hero and despised as a murderer. Chronicles his tales on the galaxy-spanning debut of the Sun Eater series, merging the best of space opera and epic fantasy. It was not his war. On the wrong planet at the right time, for the best reasons, Hadrian Marlowe started down a path that could only end in fire. The galaxy remembers him as a hero, the man who burned every last alien Sealson? We'll see how the audiobook says that. From the sky. They remembered him as a monster, the devil who destroyed the sun, casually annihilating 4 billion human lives, even the emperor himself against imperial orders. But Hadrian was not a hero. He was not a monster. He was not even a soldier. Fleeing his father and a future as a torturer, Hadrian finds himself stranded on a strange backwater world. Forced to fight as a gladiator and navigate the intrigues of a foreign planetary court, he will find himself fighting a war he did not start, for an empire he does not love, against an enemy he will never understand. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I've heard book 2 is even better. Part of me struggling to finish series. I'm also excited to like start a new one. Like sometimes you just need like that momentum again. So I am excited that it's an audiobook and there's a lot of them on Audible. The next one I picked up was The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. And this was also on, this one is going to be a Libby book for me. That's where I got it. I kind of just browsed what was available. I liked Kate Quinn's other book, The Diamond Eye, a lot. I really liked how she told that story. I believe The Rose Code is about I'm thinking Enneagram, but that's a personality test. That's not it. What the hell is that thing called? This is a World War II story following 3 different female code breakers at Bletchley Park in 1940s. I can't remember what that word is called. Enigma? Isn't that the movie, The Enigma Machine? I think that's it. That sounds right. Okay, anyways, it's a World War II historical fiction about women being badasses in World War II, breaking codes and helping the war efforts. So that's all I need to know. The next 2 I have The Bullet That Missed and The Last Devil to Die. I have both of these on Libby right now, and I'm making progress with The Bullet That Missed. This is book 3 and 4 in the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and I just really enjoy this series. It's really fun, and I'm just excited to keep going. But basically, we're following a group of friends. They're all I think they're all in their 70s, and they live at Cooper's Chase Retirement Community, and they solve murders. And it's really cool to see how, like, from book 1, like, things are still following. Like, we kind of had, like, our primary crime in book 1 and 2, but, like, things are still kind of left over. So I really like this web of mess that Richard Osman has created. So excited for those 2. Nervous for The Last Devil to Die because I see other booktubers, like, reading this and they're reading vlogs and they, like, cry. So I'm, like, scared. I double-checked Libby, and Grady Hendrix' How to Sell a Haunted House should be available in a couple weeks, so we're going to do that. And then lastly, I think I will grab Big Swiss by Jen Began on Spotify. I've heard this is really funny. I've heard this is crazy and silly, but I'm pretty sure it follows a woman who's like a transcriptionist for a sex therapist, and she kind of like gets obsessed with one of the clients she keeps hearing about. and then she like hears that client's voice in real life and tries to meet them, I think. It just sounds messy and sounds crazy and silly, so I'm excited. That is it, you guys. Thanks for hanging with me through this June TBR. Feels kind of messy, feels kind of strange. We'll just see what the month holds for me and for my reading. What are you hoping to read in June? Let me know down below, so I can maybe add that to my list and like forget all of these ones I just looked at. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.